Just to give you a heads up that this podcast is a little bit longer than usual, we decided that instead of having you watch an hour-long podcast, we're just going to split this podcast into two. So the first half of the podcast is what you're watching right now. We're going to be talking about the best and worst movies of 2019. Next week, the second part of the podcast is going to be coming out, and that's going to be talking about what's coming out in 2020 movie-wise. So be sure to check us out and enjoy part 1 of Simonji podcast number 12.
The original three back at it again.
This is how it all started.
Mm-hmm.
This is how it all ends. It's our last video, guys.
Wait, did you guys know that? Anyway, welcome to the Simonji podcast. We out here. It is 10:30 right now in Lake Arrowhead. I'm wearing Batman socks for the record, so take a look at that. I should probably turn my water bottle so you don't
Noah
see.
has been on a farting spree non-stop.
It reeks.
We're in the basement right now of our cabin, and it reeks of rotten eggs.
Mm-hmm. My name is Josh.
Sour milk.
My name is Josh, and I'm joined by our co-hosts, Adam and Noah. Welcome back.
We're co-hosts?
Yeah.
No, we're hosts.
No.
You're the co-host.
Wait, what? Alright, well, anyway, so we're doing a best of 2019, even though it's February right now, of 2020. So, yeah, what you guys think?
Gosh, dude, stop.
Yeah.
Let me just discuss the topic real briefly right now. 2019 was the year of reboots and sequels, so I think we can all agree that this year sucked, movie-wise, right?
Nope.
Anyway,
There was some pretty good ones.
Anyway, we're going to discuss our personal favorite and
Wait, do we
least
have
favorite
mics or not?
movies of 2019. I'm sorry?
Do we
He's
have
got a
mics?
mic on the camera,
You
dude.
get the mic on the camera.
What about the clip-ons?
I can get it if you want.
Well, yeah, then we don't have to yell.
Oh, that's a good point. Alright, I'm going to get it. So yeah, we're talking about 2019 movies. What was your guys's... Just right off the bat, what was your favorite movies of 2019? Or I could just go down the list.
Go down the list first.
Okay.
I can't remember movies.
So, starting first, we had the Lego Movie 2 came out in 2019.
Didn't see that.
Same. Okay. How to Train Your Dragon 3.
That was hella good.
Yeah.
That was a
What?
really good movie.
I only saw the first one, and that was it.
Honestly, all three of those movies were really good.
Dumbo, the reboot.
Didn't see that.
Captain Marvel. Yeah, Captain Marvel.
That movie.
It's good for feminists that like to go, irrit.
Okay. Shazam. I actually liked Shazam a lot, okay? Shazam was a really good movie.
That came out
It was alright.
in 2019.
It did.
It was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest movie of 2019 was probably Avengers Endgame, though.
That was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It came out in
I
April.
cried.
Yeah.
I saw it 3 times in the theater.
Same.
Yeah, we all saw it 3 times in the theater. That was an interesting movie. It's super long though, 3 hours.
It was worth it though.
So it was 9 hours of our lives wasted. Goodness.
Deary me.
Yeah. Detective Pikachu.
Didn't see that. No.
You didn't see Detective? I thought you did.
I wanted to see it, but I never ended up seeing it.
Oh, all right. John Wick 3.
That was really good.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Did you see John Wick 3, Noah?
No.
Get off your phone. Brightburn.
This is gonna be a gassy podcast.
Oh,
So many bars.
goodness.
Just try and imagine the smell that is in the room.
It's terrible. It's like ghastly.
Like, just imagine putting your nose up to a ripe, fresh asshole. That's what it smells
Brightburn.
like.
I know Brightburn got a lot of crap, but
Brightburn?
I actually really like that movie.
What's
Brightburn
that?
was the horror, like, what if Man of Steel was like a horror movie type thing, but with a kid. It was a weird movie.
It was a
I haven't
kid.
seen it. I heard
It was a
good.
kid who was Superman and basically just killed like a bunch of people. It was actually really good. I liked it.
I'll have to check
Didn't
it
even
out.
hear about that movie.
There was like there was some really cool
Super
scenes.
qualified to
Like
be here.
there's
haven't
there's a scene where like the kid was literally just beating the crap out of this cop, like throwing her through the house and stuff. And it was just like that. I don't know. I just thought it was super cool. The first credit song was garbage. It was that Bad Guy song by Billie Eilish. It's like, why would you end the movie on that song?
Bad guy.
That
What? That
Anyway, we got the reboot of Aladdin, the live action version of
Didn't
it.
see that.
That wasn't bad.
You saw it?
Yeah. Me and Courtney saw it.
Oh.
I thought Will Smith actually did a really good job as the genie.
That was the Blue Man.
Mm-hmm.
Racist. Speaking of racism, Spider-Man Far From Home.
I didn't see that.
That was a good movie. You didn't see that?
I know, isn't that crazy?
That is weird. Yeah, what the hell?
That was a really good movie.
I was done after Endgame. I could have swore that you saw it, though.
I wanted to go see it, and we had plans to go see it together, but it never happened.
That was a really good movie.
I really wanted to see
I really
it.
enjoyed it.
Yeah. Anyway, The Lion King, the live action version of that.
It was literally a shot-for-shot remake of the original.
So
Except Seth Rogen can't sing.
Yeah. Toy Story 4. That was actually a really good movie.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
They probably should have ended on the third one, but this one I think was a good ending movie too.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
No, so
It's kind of depressing.
there was our
And the last 3 Toy Story movies were depressing. The only one that wasn't was the first one.
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah. Speaking of depressing, Hobbs and Shaw.
That movie was rough.
Such a horror.
Link to our video on the
That's true. Yeah, I've got a
Podcast
video where
review.
we did the
Movie
podcast
Street,
with drummer from After the Millennials. Huge shout out. by
what's
the
that
way.
guy's name?
Yeah.
Do you know they have
Derek?
they have so much merch now? Like if you go on Naomi's
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Instagram and click on her
I'm still
bio
waiting for my
link,
free T-shirts.
Yeah, Naomi, jump on that.
They have some pretty cool.
We do like just shameless plugs like
I-
After the Millennials like all the time, and they don't.
I'm
give
a
us free
size
stuff.
medium, by the way.
I'm
and,
a size large.
Oh, dude, they don't have enough money to give out free stuff.
Yes, they do. They're making so much bank right now as a musician.
And for sweaters, I'm size large. Thanks.
Extra large for a sweater, please.
Who's that random guy that they have in their freaking their merch pictures?
Nate?
No, they have
He's in the band.
He's the drummer, bro.
no, they have Nate, Naomi, and then they have Megan, Emily, Natalie, and then they just have some random guy I've never seen in my life. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Naomi to say like, "Hey, Josh, make a music video for us." I'm like, "Hey, sure, we would love to."
I'm still waiting for our checks for promoting them so much.
I know, no kidding. Maybe we should stop
Jeez.
promoting them.
Yeah,
What's
or
the
at least a free T-shirt?
What's
or
the
something.
band like?
Don't look them up. They suck. They're bad.
What's the band?
Until they send us shirts. As soon as they send us shirts, and
They did come out with a new song. It's pretty lit.
What's their enemy band? Like the band that they're like butting heads with?
Panic at the Disco.
Sure.
They got some hot beef.
Dragon Force.
Good Boys.
Oh, that movie was terrible.
What was that?
It was so bad.
Good
That was the
Boys.
one with the little kids that were like freaking.
Oh, that's right. You saw that.
Yeah,
That's why I put it.
it
on
was
there.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, I should have clarified this at the beginning. These are all movies that I believe we've all seen, or at least one of us. Becca was also included on this list, but she's not here. God rest her soul.
Yeah.
Speaking of resting your soul, Joker.
That was a great movie.
It was a good movie.
I
but
loved it.
That being said, I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
I'm
I
with
watched
Noah.
it
It was a
twice.
good movie, but I would probably never watch it again as well.
It was a great movie.
Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
not one. It's not a movie that you'd want to watch over and over again. It's not like Batman: Dark Knight, where you can literally watch that movie over and over again.
Right.
And
See, I watched
Not
it
get
the
sick of
second
it.
time just so I could understand it more, and I think it helped. Because watching it the first time, you miss a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker.
so good. Loved
No, so we haven't yet filmed
it.
the
The link in the
podcast.
bottom for the podcast for the
We haven't
Star
filmed
Wars.
it yet, so we're filming this
by the time
podcast-
this podcast comes out, it'll be released.
that movie was stupid.
It was one of the best
Such a horrible movie.
movies of 2019, in my opinion. It was really good.
So bad.
I'm
I would
excited
rather
for that
poop
to-
in my own mouth than
Such
watch
a
that
good
movie
story.
again.
J.J. Abrams redeemed himself.
I'd rather a donkey than watch
the-
that movie again.
The best part about the movie was that they undid everything that the eighth one did, which the eighth one was trash.
Mhm.
Link down below for the eighth.
That was our first podcast.
for our
by the
first
way.
podcast of the eighth one, and how we just
Dude, no,
took a
I'm,
big fat crap all over it.
no, I'm loving this right now. Keep doing it.
Hey,
Get all of
hey,
those links down. In the,
Hey, listen, we're not here to do a Star Wars podcast, so let's save it all for the drive home.
That's what I'm thinking. So,
let me just tell you, just a little tease on it.
Mhm.
Adam hated the movie, and I love the movie, so there's going to be punches
oh
thrown.
my goodness, I'm so excited.
That movie.
I can't.
So good.
I can't.
Stupid.
It's
Adam's
gonna
Damn right I am.
be Terminator.
Didn't see
I didn't
that.
see that.
I had
Okay.
no interest in
I
seeing
thought
that.
none of us seen it. Has any of us seen Frozen 2? Did you see
I
it
saw
with
it.
Liz?
I saw it. That was actually really good.
I didn't see it.
I heard-
I didn't like the first one at all, but the second one was
Wait,
actually really good.
Did
Becca said she
Anna and
liked
Elsa
it.
bang or what?
No, they're sisters. That would be
This
incest.
is just
Downton Abbey. We didn't see that.
What?
That was on
What'd
my
you say?
list. Downton Abbey.
What the movie was that?
That's what I thought. Okay, Zombieland 2.
that was pretty good. I liked it.
It was
It was
meh.
not.
It was
Man,
meh.
That movie
see
was so bad.
the first one was really good.
The first one was really good.
The second one, it was still just as I thought. There was a lot of funny parts, and the special
They
effects was
took
good.
they took the little girl who had potential to be hot, and she got fat.
I don't think that's... Well, that's not the movie's fault. That's her fault.
It's
Right?
still a big bummer. Plus, the movie was just not good.
Yeah, it wasn't that
The
good.
first one was so much better.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of the first one being better, It Chapter 2. Oh, see what I did there?
That one was alright.
That movie was rough.
There's a lot of.
They
was
were
a lot
trying way
more-
too hard to be scary.
It was way too hard to be scary, and they were a lot more political than they were in the first one,
I think
which was really annoying.
the other thing too was like the movie like made you think you're an idiot. They're like, oh, you forgot the first like It Chapter 1, so let's just repeat it in this movie.
Oh, yeah,
And then they
that's-
threw in like extra scenes too. I noticed.
Yeah, that's why the movie was so long, because they just like.
Yeah, that was also like a 3-hour
But-
movie.
The only thing about that movie that I actually really liked was
Gosh, it's a beer burp.
was Pennywise. Oh,
Yeah.
he's good.
He's a good actor.
He was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, he could
What's his
probably
name?
never play another character.
Yeah.
Sure, you could do other horror
Well, he
movies.
looks totally different in real life than he does as
Oh
the
yeah,
clown.
for sure.
He could be an evil guy in a Marvel movie. He'd
Mhm.
do fine.
Just like the way he talks, like transforms his voice and like his laugh. I just thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Aquaman.
Garbage.
That came out in
Came
2019.
out
Movie.
2019.
Stupid
No, it
movie.
didn't.
All I have to say is justice for Johnny Depp. And finally, I think, Noah, you and Becca were the only ones that saw this, and Becca was actually saying this was a good movie. Six Underground with Ryan Reynolds on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
That
it
movie
wasn't
came out.
bad at all.
So this is like Netflix's version of Fast and Furious,
No.
pretty much.
No, that's wrong. Nope. There's only one scene where they're driving a car, and that's in the beginning.
So what's the movie about then? Because when
So
I watched the
basic-
trailer, it was like pretty much like a Fast.
Well, they
and
only
Furious
showed the
spin-off.
first scene.
Okay.
So basically, there's however many people, I guess 6, and basically these people wanted to do some right in the world. So basically, they fake their deaths
Mhm.
so that they're like off the grid, and so they go after some some government that's like terrorizing their people,
Mhm.
and basically take them out and put another person in power that's better.
That like just came out, huh?
Yeah, it really wasn't bad. The story was pretty good, and then like the special effects and the fighting and like the parkour and stuff was
Becca
pretty cool.
said it was
I
an
actually
enjoyable
wanted.
movie.
I actually
It's-
wanted to see that
It's
one.
very intense and yeah, definitely worth watching.
I might check it out. We'll
And
see.
Ryan Reynolds is always awesome. So
Yeah. So out of this list, what were you guys' personal favorites?
Was that all of them?
That was all the ones that we have seen.
I feel like
This
there's
last
more.
year.
I
I
think
feel like there was more too, but I don't have the rest.
we
We haven't seen 1917. Rise of Skywalker was the last movie we saw in theaters.
I think Endgame was my favorite by far,
Mm.
just because it ended everything. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then second was probably Star Wars,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
again, it ended everything in a good way, in a satisfying way.
Oh, that was another one. I did think of another one. Knives Out.
I didn't see
I
that.
didn't see that.
You guys didn't
That,
see
that
that.
did not look good to me at all.
I actually really enjoyed it. I saw it with Ryan and Lauren and Kenzie. It was I'm sorry, Becca, not Kenzie. So it was the four of us that saw it. It was actually a really good movie for like a good mystery movie, like a whodunit type thing. Like they did a really good twist on it. So I would say at least check it out. Chris Evans is in it. He's hot. The guy who's in Man of Steel that goes, I will find him. He's in it. He's great.
The guy from Kangaroo Jack.
Yes, the guy from Kangaroo Jack.
I think my favorite
Good
movie.
reference.
Yeah, that
so
came
I
out in 2019. That was the best movie by far.
So
That's how I always recognize him. I was like, oh, that's the guy from Kangaroo Jack.
So I would say probably
Chicken blood.
I'd probably say my favorites were Shazam, and Knives Out.
My favorite's Hobbs and Shaw by far. Best movie I've ever seen in my
Yuck.
life. No, I would say
Spoiler alert: the black guy dies.
And Hobbs and
which
Shaw?
black guy?
The main villain.
Oh,
yeah.
Doesn't he die?
Idris
Yeah, he
Elba?
So does Cedric Diggory. God rest his soul.
I remember you, Cedric.
Never forget. Hashtag me too.
That's our hashtag, like never forget Cedric or something.
We still need to make
Merch
t-shirts,
coming out
dude.
soon.
I
Dude, we
know.
need to make
Don't
t-shirts
tell Harry.
so
I
bad.
didn't- yeah.
Don't tell Harry.
I told Becca to brainstorm, since Becca's probably the more artistic person in our family, at least out of the four of us.
What do you mean? All you do is get a shirt, put a picture of freaking
Cedric on there.
Cedric or Green
Could we get in
Goblin.
trouble for that,
put
though?
Don't tell Harry.
Might get like copyright. That's
Don't-
what I'm thinking.
no,
If
you-
she drew it,
you
it'd
It'd
be
be
better.
don't tell Harry. Cedric Diggory dies.
It's like just two jokes like pushing the one. Like, oh,
Or you could do Cedric Diggory dies. Spoiler: alert, Cedric Diggory dies.
Mhm.
Hashtag don't tell Harry.
I like that.
That's good.
That's our hashtag.
That works so well too. No, I would say my favorite Endgame probably topped all these movies,
Mhm.
and then How to Train Your Dragon 3 was good second.
Yeah.
That movie was really good.
Hmm.
It was super cool. No, but they put a beard on the main guy, Hiccup, and at the end of the movie,
Hiccup?
he looks like Jim Halper.
Yeah. I've seen those memes.
Oh damn! I didn't clap sync at the beginning.
You.
Oh, I didn't realize
This
I
is
didn't
gonna be
clap
so,
sync.
that's gonna
It's
be so much fun to edit.
Gonna be a to edit. All right. And
It's different when you have a camera on you though, because when you're trying to do like a video game edit and you don't have like a face cam with it,
Mhm.
it's so much harder when there's not a collapse.
Oh yeah, definitely. By the way, speaking of which, shout out to the Jabs channel. Check him out. There's a link below. That's Adam's.
We have
YouTube.
2 videos
It's
now.
his gay channel where him and Brad just. all the
Hey
time.
dude, we got 34 views on our first vid. What are you on
Pretty
about?
What's the movie that you hated this year?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw was.
You know what's funny?
What?
Last year, the movie that we hated was The Meg. In both movies, Shaw and Hobbs and The Meg had Jason Statham in
So
it.
are we saying we just hate Jason Statham
I
as an
guess
actor?
so.
He's
I
honestly
can't
not a
even
good
name-
actor.
I don't even know a movie like that I think is unbelievable that he's in, other than the Fast and Furious movies.
Italian Job. Have you seen that with Matt Damon?
He's in that?
Oh yeah, he's.
Oh,
in
I like that movie.
There you go. All right, so Noah, Hobbs and Shaw.
I think that was my least favorite. I just thought it was retarded and way too
I have to
cheesy.
look at the
I
list.
think I
again,
might say
dude.
the same thing. Yeah, I mean we were bashing it pretty hard, like when we did the reviews of it. Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw would probably be my least favorite of this year too.
Captain Marvel's my least favorite movie this year.
yeah, that was
Screw
weird.
that. That movie was awful.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
horrible.
That
You
would've
see what
sucked.
Brie Larson said? She said that Captain Marvel can lift Thor's hammer. It's like
No, she
no
can't. She's
woman,
not worthy.
no,
No woman is worthy.
is worthy
Oh,
of ruling
God.
Asgard. Besides the goddess of death, because she was a bit of a badass. Even though Thor Ragnarok,
Thor Ragnarok sucked.
yeah, even though Thor Ragnarok was not that great of a movie.
Oh, that was a really good
However,
movie.
that scene when she like literally killed like 50 guys, that was pretty cool. Even
I
though
don't
it was,
remember.
even
Did you know
though it was
she's
all
the-
CGI.
She's the witch or the elf witch from
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings.
Yep. I forget what her
And
name
she's
is.
also the
Lady Galadriel.
yeah, and she's also the girl in Indiana Jones 4.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the Russian.
The Russian. I think she's Ukrainian.
Oh.
I have a genuine question about the movie.
Okay.
Was he wearing his cargo pants under the skirt?
Allegedly, we don't know for sure.
Or did he take off the skirt?
For most of the scenes he was, and then sometimes he wasn't, and then he took off the skirt again, and then they were there back.
Like, did he take off the skirt, be butt nude in the middle of battle, and then put on some cargo pants?